I think let's get started. So we have folks. I think we have students as well. We have senior PMs. Folks, just a humble request. Please, please be on mute because it's just like breaks the rhythm, and also if multiple people start speaking at once, it becomes a little difficult. Okay. All right, and we have oh. Senior PMs, we have Shakeen. Hey, Shakeen, you also joined our advanced AI program. Welcome to that. Okay, we have Venki. Venki is a senior consultant from NJ. Okay, New Jersey, I believe, and Neha. Okay, she's a student, and we have Rajesh. Rajesh is a senior PM. All right, welcome, Rajesh. Okay, awesome. I think I have a decent mix of working professionals and a couple of students are also here. Good to know that. Okay, so folks, before in fact, let me show you what we are going to build. But before that, can you please write like on a scale of 1 to 10, how comfortable you are in building agents, right? Wherein 10 is like super confident, like you're a master of it. An agent, I'll tell you. Okay, we're going to build an agent, and it is for let's say e-commerce industry, right? And we can probably name it. I have done it earlier, so I've named it as Mia. So I'll first showcase it to you, and we have I think limited time only, right? So within that limited time, we'll try to build at least one um, or two use cases, right? Depending on how complex we can go and how much time do we have, right? Just give me a moment. I'm just okay. This is something we're going to build. I'm just checking if that entire workflow is working. Okay, awesome. So the workflow is active, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate it. Okay, upgrade plan. Okay, plan specific issues, but it can still work. Okay, I'll have to deactivate other workflows for it to work. I'll deactivate other workflows. Okay, I'll show you everything. I'm just setting this up. It's already should be fine now. Yeah. All right. So this is the chatbot I've already built, and just to give you a little bit of background, so what this chatbot does, it answers all the customers' queries, and these queries could be either with respect to if a customer wants to know more about offers or any discounts which is going on, or if any customer wants to check what is our order status, where it is stuck, right? And it also tries to handle some of the edge cases in a subtle ways, right? So we'll try to see that, right? So now let's start asking, hey, can you tell me the approximate fare from Delhi to Mumbai? Let's see, what does it say? Oh, I'm here to help with, right? So this is like tuned to answer only Myntra specific queries, right? And okay, that's all right. Can you help me with UPI payment offers? Okay. All right, that's also there right now. Okay, can you help me with, okay, tell me where is my status. Let's start talking a different language. Tell me where's my order. For that, it'll ask for order ID. Let me get an order ID from the DB that I have associated it with. Give me one second. Mantra chatbot database. Okay, I am using this DB, right? So for your understanding, right? And this is the the status is delayed, and that's the reason is courier partner delay, right? And I'm going to put this similar order ID, and let's see what does it respond. Let's try that. Saying some time. Oh, the order has a status of return. It was supposed to be delivered. So in this, okay, this is given me a different status. Courier partner delay. Okay, great. Then this is something, an error. We'll have to check back why it is happening, but let me check for other order ID, right? Okay. Let's see what does it say for this. Tell me the order status. Okay, has been cancelled. Yeah, this one is correct, coming correctly. Okay, the other one was hidden to some error. We'll have to do debugging and all, right? But this one, it was able to identify correctly. So yeah, I think we can build a customer chatbot which is able. Guys, please be on mute. Okay, so let's test this one more time so that everyone understand it, right? So I'm just going to pick any random order. Okay, let's pick this one, right? And let me go ahead and ask my bot. Can you tell me the order status of? Okay, let's see what does it do. Okay, it's still working. Okay, the order is saying it is placed. You can also check here. It is saying order placed, Surat lost package, right? So all these, results it is giving. You can see that it's completely matching with the database that I've updated to, right? So you can also build your, customer chatbots and all, which is like, helping you answer customer queries. You can update your knowledge base, right? And you can also make it real time as well, wherein they can also keep querying your databases to tell the customer the exact status, right? And you don't have to literally deploy like 1,000 folks customer support team to handle the customer support charters, right? So now, quick question before we start getting into building. Anyone wants to try this bot? You can write in the chat if you want to try this. Okay, anyone wants to try this? Okay. If only one or two people, then no. If you want to try this, I'm sure you'd have Telegram. I'll quickly share the username. You can go to Telegram and type this. Let's do the trial and all. And in the meantime, whatever you'll try, I'll be able to see it here, right? This pipe symbol comes in anytime when we are doing the test executions, right? And all the executions without pipe symbols are something which is happening in the live environment. And I'm sure we are familiar with Anitin. So yeah, let's see. What you guys are getting, what you guys are asking for, right? For sample order IDs, if you want to try, I'll just copy paste that and add it in the chat. We can also try writing random order ID and see what it says, right? So yeah, this is like I've not basically super trained it. I've just created a database of like 1,000 entries, right? And yeah, asked it to query it before answering, or even the same case for offers. And this database is roughly of like 50 line items because offers are limited, right? All right, now let's wait. Okay, how many of you are trying it? Okay. So let me see who's trying it. Okay. Yes, one person has hit an error. That's all right. Okay, this is Qid. Quid. Okay. Now, yeah, it's still loading up. Okay, so many folks. I have to disable it after these running iterations. Okay. So I'll just disable it after later. Otherwise, this won't stop, right? Okay. It's good. Good. Many of you are trying. All right. So one of you who tried it, okay, simply ask, "Hi, how can I help you?" Okay, this is not a relevant query, and one of you have also. Okay, let's see what you guys have done. Okay, this person has asked about my product, right? And then see that what the output. Okay, could you please provide me order ID or specify your query related to the product, right? That way, so if you look into the input was, where is input? Telegram trigger. Input was this about my product. Someone just written very vague statement and then asked to clarify it, right? Because as long as you don't give it a specific context, okay, what is it that I want? Then it would not like hold on to that, right? One more thing, you guys would see that if I go to editor, if I would reduce my context window to 1, then your bot would not be able to remember previous conversations, right? So all those things we can play around. I think I'll try to now get started and help you all build this from scratch. Okay. Now, do you guys think that you want to build this? Okay, or Michael, could you please intro to the tool stack used here, right? Tool stack. Okay. So how many of you want to build it from scratch, or you think if you can build it, then we can wrap up the session? Yeah, and to be honest, like it's quite simple. Once we start doing it, it's just like you have to get started on it. And the advanced part, anyway, we won't go because to build an advanced level or a complex agents, we need to understand like how LLMs work, how they're predicting, different texts, how they're constructing sentences, how to go about configuring them, how to handle responsible AI, edge cases, and all right. So we'll not go, I would say, to the level where we need technical explanation of the concepts to build the complex one. Okay, I'm not seeing the excited responses. I'm just seeing one or two odd responses. Okay, can we please raise hand? How many of you want to build it from scratch? Okay, only 7 folks. Okay. All right. All right. 33. Okay. Looks like a good strength, right? Thank you, folks. The encouragement, it just helps to take this up. Now, all you can lower your hand. Okay. But before we start, because now once we start building, right, we might not be able to take a couple of questions, right? But before we start, anyone has any questions, any quick questions, I can take that. All of you, please lower your hands, right? And we'll take the, kind of questions for a minute if there are any, and then we would go ahead. And I am assuming that you all has the setup ready of Aniten. If not, then you can follow along with me, right? What I'm doing on the screen, right? The databases and the prompting guide that I have, right, for this agent to work better, I'll be sharing it to all of you who will be, of course, sharing your experience of this session on LinkedIn, so that at least we are able to, spread the word, right? And all right, now let me see where is my prompting guide is. All right, now let's get started on building. Okay, who has questions? Quickly, yeah. Natish, you have a question? Yeah, Sashank. I have not done it purposefully on WhatsApp because WhatsApp requires not happy with me. They're muting me. Okay. Yeah. So this is a, just an integration that I have done for a front end, right? You can integrate with your website. You can integrate with, WhatsApp. You can integrate with anything that, you want to integrate with anything, right? All that can also be done, right? And now let's start. Natish, you have a query? Anyone who has a query, let's quickly go ahead. Okay, no queries, right? So just give me 1 second. I'm just trying to look for my prompting guide for this. If not, then I anyway have it. All right. Great. I will just need 10 seconds, folks, to get this started. And I've done that on Sunday. I would just get it. Just give me 10 seconds and then we'll get started. I'm just looking Mintra chat. Got it. Okay. So I would have my prompting guide as well. So okay, cool. Now we're good to get started and build something from scratch. I'm sure everyone would have landed to this, screen, right? And I would have to disable my chatbot because if I don't do it, then I'll not be able to, make a new version that we're doing, right? I'm sure everyone is on the screen, and let's get started. Okay, let's name it D2C customer, handling chatbot, right? D2C customer handling chatbot. You can give any cool name which works for you, right? And all right, let's get started. Okay, the first step of any workflow is to create a trigger, right? Okay, I'm lowering hands. I believe there's no questions. It's more of the previous participation hands raised.
Just how do we reach the screen? How to start from the screen?
How to read the screen is you can do a sign up on n18.io. I'll share that URL in the chat. All right. And once you finish signing up, okay, is the session going to be on n18? Yes. Can we integrate with Twitter-based Signal Trigger? You can do whatever you want to. It's a web-based version basically, because if you have it local, I have a couple of workflows running for my company, and if I have it like on my laptop, then I have to keep it live all the time, right? And I don't have multiple spare laptops. So right now I'm relying on cloud version completely. Is the session completely going on in anytime? Yes, Gautam. Anytime, if you guys wanted it for it's open source, you can set it up? Yes, we can do that. Um, yeah, there are so many alternate platforms like Make.com, Zapier. There are like multiple others. You can even use, I think, not even these platforms. You can go ahead, use Cursor to build agents without any of these platforms. Okay, now Twitter with, I don't know what's about a specific question again, Amit. I think if that integration option is available, then you can do that, right? All right, Zapier is also a good option. Okay, so once you have done the sign up, then you'll be landed to this page, right? Wherein either you can go to overview, wherein it'll land you here, but from here also you can click on create workflow, and that's where you'll land to the screen wherein I've just started with renaming myself, right? Okay, to start any workflow, you have to first set a trigger, right? Like when that workflow should start itself, right? So the first trigger, I'm not going to create a custom, I was just super complex agent and all. I'm going to create a simple agent, or I would just like the first fundamental structure for any chatbot, right? So let's set up a chat trigger, right? So no customizations further required. And I'll set up an agent, AI agent, right? Not doing anything here as well, right? And so what I've done is like I've set it probably this as a chat trigger. So whenever something is coming on this chat as an input, it'll initiate the workflow, right? Whenever this query has been initiated from here, the output of this is going to be the input of this, and this agent is going to take the query and respond back to this model, right? And right now this is just like a complete blank structure, right? It won't work because let's say if I go and say hi to this, right? Nothing will work because this is not set it up, right? We have not set this up yet, right? So to set up an AI agent, you have to connect it to a chat model. Let me connect it to with my open AI chat model. You can also do that, right? I'm sure you're following with me. So yeah, and what you simply need to set this up, uh, click on here, right? Or if you don't have your OpenAI account connected, so you can click on create new credentials, right? And I'll how to get the OpenAI keys as well. OpenAI API key. You go to this platform, right? And the URL for this is I'm writing in the chat. Okay. And from here, you can click on create new UPI key. Sorry, API key. My bad. API test. Okay. And here you go. You just copy this here and you come back here and you just click here and then just click on save. And it should show a green signal, right? The moment you're getting a green signal, which means your account connection has been set up perfectly, right? And since OpenAI has like a lot of models, so if you go to any of you integrate like any of the LLMs, they'll have like tons of models to pick from, right? So if you don't understand basically how to pick the right LLM model because you're basically for your specific use case, one model can perform better and another might not be able to do that, or there's going to be a tokenization limits, pricing factors. There's like a bunch of other factors, right, to select the right model. And that is something again would come once you are like well versed with like how this entire ecosystem works, when you want to seriously go in depth and upskill. But this is like more to get comfortable around agentic AI. So we are not going to go to the depth of it. We're just going to go ahead with the default model, which OpenAI has provided us, right? So I'm just going to leave it here. And tool is something, okay, I'm not going to work on any tool specifically right now, but I'll take a usage of tool once as move forward, right? And our agent is ready. And what it is doing now, okay, this is perfectly fine. If I go to chat model, this is also fine. If I go to agentic AI, it's taking this chat input as a input, right? So whatever is going to come from chat interaction window, right, this is going to be available here, right? Cool. And connected chat, we can also customize it. We'll have to customize it the moment we'll start integrating with any other outside channels, right? So Right now it is like self setup. Right now I think it should work. Right. If you want to try this chat out, you can also write in the your Meets chat. I'll share the link of this chat window wherein you can try it. Right. So I've said hi to you. Hi to this, right? And yeah, how are you doing? How are you doing? Now let's ask, can you tell me about my Myntra order? Okay. If you want to parallelly try this chat interaction, you can do that. Log into Myntra account. Yeah, it's giving like a specific justification, specific answers, right? Or I would say you ask this chatbot right now anything, it's just like similar to interacting on an OpenAI interface, right? You can literally ask it, okay, can you define APIs? Can you define, let's say, system design, for example? Yeah. It'll right now answer anything. Because its role is not defined. It can do anything that you ask it to do. Yeah, certainly. System design is a process of XYZ, right? Blah blah blah. It's not a concern what it's saying, right? So right now it's just a kind of a basic interface that we have created, but we have not defined the role of it, right? So it's like you've hired a journalist in your company, and they're literally multi-skilled, right? And you can ask them to do anything, but that's not scalable, right? Not every person could be skilled in so many arts, right? So when you hire a person in your company, you hire them for a specific job, right? So that they can do that skillfully, right? So this specific agent, we wanted to act as a customer support agent, not anything else, right? So for that, what we have to do is like we have to define the role of this agent, right? Just like the way we have JDs and all, right? So how do you go about crafting the JDs, basically depending upon whatever the job you want that person to do, right? So now what I'm going to do is like I'm going to refer to my prompting guide for this interaction. I'll walk you through this as well. I'll come here, right? I'll go here, I'll click on option, I'll go to system message and I'll click here and here. And now I'll define the role of it, right? Because if I'm not defining the role, then it can literally act in any direction, right? And it's not customized, not specific to that use case, right? Okay, now let's quickly read through it. You're a highly capable, friendly, and articulate chatbot designed to assist users with order status and promotional queries. That's what I would want to do probably a couple of steps later, right? You are the first point of contact for users. Your role is to analyze user questions clearly, accurately, and incessantly, help users navigate, right? Okay. Right now, I'm keeping it blank for now. Navigate through their queries, offer recommendations or explanation or whatever it is, de-escalate frustration and increase user confidence, right? So whenever users are like basically not happy with the services, right, you definitely don't want to like add fuel to the fire, right? You want to like add water to the fire, right? So that's what like how would you go ahead, you have to give an instruction. It's capable to do, but you have to tell it what to do, right? And collect structured information from users if the information is inaccurate. Many of you, I think, have seen the bot that I have probably given you to try. Basically, that is something, it was asking me the information if it didn't have the correct information, right? So that's what it's going to do if it doesn't have enough information. Your tone should be friendly, conversational, and helpful, but not overly casual, right? And I've just defined a couple of boundaries as well. Okay, what you should not do, right? Which GPTs generally tend to do, right? Do not invent facts or make assumptions or speculate without being transparent, right? So as in don't say the things that you don't know or you're like 100% confident, because you might end up giving unnecessary expectations to the users, right? And this is the escalation logic. If your query cannot be resolved within 1 2 messages, then escalate it to human agent and all, right? So yeah, knowledge base is something I've not added. Yeah, I'll add it later. Okay, now, yeah, this is like ready. Now let's ask this question again. Okay, hello, can you help me with the ride fare from this time, let's say, Bangalore to Goa? Yeah. So now you would have noticed that it's still answering, right? But I wanted to make a Mintra or a company specific bot, right? Otherwise, if you'll ask like similar queries, okay, what are the running offers on Agio? Right? It would still answer, right? Because we have not put that boundaries wherein it can act within those constraints, right? Yeah. So this is like it's still answering. It'll still answer, right? But now the way it is answered, you can say that it's answering more of kind of as a customer support. Okay. And now let's say that I am really, really frustrated with my last user experience. Not sure if I want to, if I want to like what buy again. Let's see how does it handle this. Yeah, you look at like the tone is like quite empathetic. I'm sorry to hear about your frustrating experience. I want to make things right for you. Could you tell me a bit more about what happened with your last interaction? No, I want to sue you. My concerns. Okay. Okay. Now let's go deeper. My concerns are slow platform, high prices, late deliveries. Let's see what this say. Okay, thank you for sharing. I can help you high prices. So it has like, try to get more information for any specific queries. Now figure out yourself, figure out yourself. I'm sorry, could you please provide okay. Now, one thing you guys might not have observed, right? Ideally, in a specific conversations, there's a, I think enough context for anyone to understand what's going on, right? But then when I have said, figure out yourself, like, from after this message, right? It could not relate with, what I'm talking about, right? Because this simply means that, okay, I'm asking you to, figure out yourself regarding something this, right? But look at the response, right? I'm here to help. Could you please provide a bit more details or clarify what you need assistance with, right? Whether it's about, so it's like starting fresh, right? Why this is happening? Because we have not asked our, this workflow or the specific agent to remember the context of the previous conversations, right? And that's where the memory comes in, right? And memories could be, you can also integrate with your own databases if you are like having it an enterprise scale, right? But for this workflow, we can simply go ahead with this memory, right? Which by default keep the memory of this specific session ID, right? And you'll try to remember the previous 5 messages, right? So now, if you probably try having the conversation, then it'll let's see that if it remembers or not, right? So okay, number. Now let me ask, what is the number? Okay, okay, it like looks like a question. Could you please? Okay, but still understood. Like I'm talking about the number, right? Okay. Now I'll say that. Okay, number is 10. Number is 10. Chat model subnode must be connected. Okay, for some reason I think this model got deleted. I don't know why. How? Let me once again. Let me quickly connect it. No worries. OpenAI. Yes, this works. Okay. Chat. Okay. All right. Number is 10. Okay. One thing you folks might not have observed, which is that before this model taking the query to OpenAI, right? It first checks the memory, right? So whenever it is running a specific query, it collects the previous conversation and also keep them as context and then send it to OpenAI, right? Let's try it. Just observe like, and this green signal shows that okay, what specific nodes are hit, when the flow is working, right? So now let's try it as what? Let's say again, let's go for a number one, right? Number is 100. number is number 100. Okay, let me is number 100. See, it checked here first, right? Then it took here, then it went here, and then it reverted to chat, right? Okay, it seems like you're asking if the number is 100. Since you previously mentioned the number is 10, can you please correct? So it is still able to hold the, or remember the previous conversation, because previously I've told us, okay, the number is 10, right? And I'm asking is number 100. So it's able to, right, kind of remember the context and then compare and then, like, accordingly give you the output, right? All right, now I'll try to take a short break here to handle or answer if anyone of you have queries. Please write your queries in the chat. I'll take 2 or 3 queries in the interest of time, right? And then we'll go a step further when we'll try to see that how do you handle or what changes you have to do that so that specific agent doesn't answer anyone else's queries beyond your company, right? Because ideally, Uber might not like if Myntra is answering on behalf of Uber, right? That would not be the right thing. All right. So guys, please write your queries in the chat and let's take a quick 1 minute of break or a pause. Prompting and all, I'll tell you how you can get it, all this prompting guide and the database that I've created. Yeah, so we'll share it right now. I think following on call could be slightly difficult, but that's why I'm trying to explain multiple use cases. Problem in node insufficient quota detected. We'll have to see more. I'm like, what is the query like? Do you have you connected with the API keys, and does your API key has enough dollars to compensate for tokenizations? Yeah, correct. Thanks, Sakshi. Okay. Can you quickly summarize steps taken? Okay. So till now, I have created a basic version of agent. I have defined the role of it, and I have covered the memory aspects of it, right? As in, what is the point of memory and how does it help, right? So let's say in your company ecosystems or in organizations, your customers would have like quite longer conversations. They would not have like only 5 conversations, and that's where they're expecting to get the results, right? So when you are creating these workflows, you have to look into your average conversation numbers and then define that context window, or you keep it open or you keep it get quite big enough so that all the content could be saved, and then you can again use that entire conversation as probably part of retraining your model so that it acts better, right? Okay. What I have to do now, can I use Gemini? You can use any models that you want. Will we receive a recording of this session? I'm not sure. I'll have to check with the team. When I log in back as a same prompting user, will I be able to see my chat? Not sure. Like, if you're carrying on the same session ID, because if you look into this, if I share my screen back, right? If you'd keep your session ID open, then it would for sure remember it. You can see that this is session ID, right? If I refresh it, my session ID is changed. Now this is a fresh message. It's like coming, like the specific message is coming from different users. Just like the way I have shared you the bot link, right? That bot username, right? So you were able to use it because yeah, like all the users are sending the request to this workflow as a different users, right? So every user has their own unique session ID, and based on that session ID, the message was saved, right? So there's no point on, let's say, saving a message for Rajesh and use it as a context for Uma's conversation. And you also don't want your, let's say, Telegram bot to send the message of Uma's to Rajesh, right? You don't want that. Is the RAG use case? So we'll not use RAG as well, because RAG is like quite complex use cases. RAG is just not about connecting it with static DB. Right now, we're just going to connect it with static DB, right? But the RAG extension use case of this would be to connect it with the dynamic DB, ensure vector embeddings and all, right? So all those things are, of course, we can't cover it in a free session because of the limited scope, right? But yeah, they would be part of our advanced AI program, wherein we go into the complex use cases depth as well, right? And then how do you go about retraining? How do you go about keeping in mind agent evaluations, evals, and all, right? Okay. Okay. How do you add guardrails? I'll just talk about guardrails in a moment. That's what we're going to do in this one. In the next step, how do you add guardrails? As you said, mentors could only should answer. Yeah, I'll talk about it. No, this is not the RAG use case, Vishal. This is a static knowledge base upgrade type of, yeah. As an extension, then we could think of it generating a case number for every conversation. It would be, because if you're using on your website, then you would be, kind of exchanging these conversations using an API, right? And in API, you can create that, unique session ID or a session differentiator. I'm getting this issue. Okay, Revant, we not sure like we have enough time to handle specific issues. RAG would be connected to a memory or tool on the node. I think you have to connect it using a tool, right? It's like additional utility using memory is just like you want to save the conversations and utilize it like for future context or probably retraining your databases and all. Right. Okay. Awesome. Looks like we've handled all the queries, and let's move forward toward the next use case. Okay. Now you mentioned, okay, this particular bot is now talking about like all queries here and there. Now let's try to put those guardrails. To put those guardrails, I have an improved system message. I'll just use this and I'll go to this and I'll update. I'll basically upgrade my agent to a new role, right? Okay. So now you'll look into You Are Mia, the official customer support chatbot. So I'll not go ahead and explain everything, right? I'll just define here. Okay, something got cut off. Yeah, strict scope rules, right? Only respond to queries, related to Myntra. If a user asks about other companies, brands, not on Myntra or unrelated topics, politely respond that you can only assist with Myntra related specific information. Okay. Now here, you guys might be thinking, my screen not visible? Folks, is my screen visible? Right? Okay. All right.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. All right. All right. Great. Okay, thank you, Pranshu, for going on. Yeah, all right. Now, okay, I lost my thought. Yeah, I was saying this. Yeah. Okay, so defining the roles and scope, right? I'll tell you one thing that system message is always not the way to go about it, right? Because if you have a pretty vast role, or if you want your this entire workflow to handle quite complex data and all, then there are good chances that your system might hallucinate and let's say compromise user experiences, right? So there are, I think, multiple other effective ways, but this is like for this session, I think we can rely on this system role defining to go about setting up the boundaries, right? But if you want to do it at an enterprise scale, this is not, I would say, most adoptable way or acceptable way. Otherwise, the good chances your models might hallucinate, right? So if you want to give best experiences, but this will still do our job. Now let's go and see that, right? Okay, we have defined the role of it, and now what we'll say is, hi. Okay, I wanted to know when I would reach to my destination as per current ride. Yeah, let's see what it does. It first looked into memory, right? And then it done that because it wanted to kind of carry on the context. And then, okay, I'm here to help with Myntra related queries. For ride or travel information, you might want to check your ride app or contact their support directly, right? Or if you have any questions about Myntra
Excuse
orders,
me,
product.
sorry. Sorry. Some of us are not able to see your screen. If you can check it, please.
Okay, no worries. I'm just resharing it. I hope this helps.
Thank you.
Is it visible now, Shashank?
It is loading, but
I can't help
I
you
can
help
see
you with the
your
internet.
PS.
Yeah. Okay, probably some, I think, your team specific version issue. Um, okay, let's take a deep breath and let's wait for it to load for everyone. Yeah. I hope, Sashank, you can see now.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay, do you want to retry and rejoin? I think could be some version
Yep.
issues. I'm not sure,
Let
but
me do that. Yes.
yeah. Okay, all right. Cool. Rejoin worked, right? Awesome. Let's take another 10 seconds break and then let's start. Okay, I'll just quickly repeat. What I was saying is like I have redefined the role of this agent wherein it knows its boundaries and it only handles the questions, in that specific regard, right? And all right. Okay, now let's go here and you can see that, right? It's still not answering these queries, right? Okay, now let's ask it, okay, can you tell me who is the CEO of Myntra? Let's see what does it revert. Okay, so it's not answering anything and everything about Myntra. It's only asking with shopping in support related to Myntra. Out of company executives information, it doesn't have it. If we like remove that constraint wherein we said like be within the scope, and if we ask it to look for an or basically browse the internet and then answer, I think it can do that. But now one thing definitely we have achieved, which is it's acting definitely within its boundaries, right? So that's good win, right? Now what we'll do is like we'll go ahead and we'll add the knowledge base to it. I'm quickly checking for a knowledge base. Owned by me. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'll tell you how to go about. I'm just figuring out where is my owned databases. Looks like I have it here. Okay, now so what I have to do is like I'll have to quickly connect it with tools, right? So tools are additional utility wherein I can fetch it with additional data. You can see that my Google account is already connected. So you can see that tool description is like not required, it's already set automatically. But what it has to do is like it has to look for sheets basically within the document. And within those sheets, what operation we wanted to do is like get that information, right? So I'll go ahead and look for that Myntra specific chatbot database. And I'll, yeah, in that worksheet, you can see that in that workbook, I want to get this specific sheet, and I'll also change the name as order status, right? Now I'll add another, I'll duplicate this. I'll go ahead and make this as a payment DB, payment database, and I'll change the sheet name to payment offers data, right? That's all right now we have to do, right? But one more thing missing, that we have not told kind of our agent, okay, what are your improved boundaries, right? So now we have to basically define what is your improved boundaries, right? So wherein I have this another detailed prompt wherein I'll tell you the enhancements that I'm doing. Okay, so I'm asking it like, only refer to the following data source for the information, right? So I've added knowledge scope and database, wherein I've given a Google document name, Myntra chatbot database, and order status data, right, which contains order IDs, order status, confirmed, shipped, delivered, returned, canceled, right? So yeah, I've just added the column, values of this DB as well, right? So if you look into this, right, these are the data points that I have. I've just added it here. Payment offers data. I've also told us this, system message in the system message that, okay, what does it carry as well, right? You're not allowed to answer questions that go beyond this data, right? So I've also defined out of scope handling. If a query cannot be answered using the above sheets, follow these fallback rules. If the query is Myntra related, but not covered in this sheet, like return policy, account issues, wish list, product details, respond with this isn't something I can help you with directly. Yeah. And if the query is unrelated to Myntra, like other companies and all, I'm here to help you. So accordingly, I've added two fallback options here, right? And apart from that, I've also defined what your example behavior should look like, because accordingly, it'll try to mimic the user experiences, right? Now let's go ahead and let's try this. Okay, now let me start a fresh session ID. Can you tell me about the running offers? Okay, see, one thing you might have observed that while I've asked it about the payment offers or a running offers, it didn't go to order database, order sheet, because I've defined in system message what does it carry and what all columns and all are here, right? And the agent decided, okay, this is not a relevant data DB, right? If you create one exhaustive DB, right, it'll definitely look for the information, but the amount of tokens consumed would be too much, right? And you want to kind of minimize that, because that is something which is going to define the cost, right? So that's why sometimes it's recommended you create those dedicated tables and let your agent know, okay, for this information go here, right? And yeah, and let me say that, okay, what are the major order issues. Simple. This is something I can help you with directly, please. Okay, it's not basically it's trying to get this information as something outside of this DB, right? But let's ask something which is specific to this DB, and what I can ask is order status. Okay, what are the major order status delayed reasons, or let's see if it reads this or not. That's where you go ahead and train it still didn't understand, read this data. Okay, now let me ask for a specific order ID, right? Now what I can go and ask for this. Okay, can you tell me the order status? Okay. Okay, now it can answer it, but for that it needs my order ID. Let me see if I have given it a right order ID. Yeah, now you can see that the flow is in a way that for this to answer this information, it has to go in this specific DB, right? And if you go here, you can check this specific order ID has a cancel status from Chennai, 1 to 2 weeks of delivery time, package delayed due to weather, right? And you can see that the same answer has been coming from here as well, right? So yeah, this is like not basic DB kind of this chatbot setup is kind of completed, right? Now the next node is to connect it with Telegram. We're already hitting the 12 mark. Let me quickly check how much more time we have. Okay, we have 30 minutes, but we'll try to fast track a little bit. Okay, now what we're going to do the next is how many orders are yet to be delivered. Yeah, you can answer all these queries. I'll go ahead and go basically connect it with Telegram now, right? So to connect it with Telegram, all of you can do it. If you want to do that, go to this account, right? And it's basically bot father, right? You can initiate a new bot option. Let's say you want to create a new bot, right? And let's give it a name, live session Mia. Okay, good. Okay, now it's took it, right? Now I'll say that's bot as well. Set it complete. This is the API key, right? Now I'll go ahead here. Okay, you didn't see that, I believe. Okay, so what I've done is I have clicked. Okay, I'll create a new bot, right? Just copy this. Okay. Okay, so this is like we're going to look into like how can you go about creating your own API key on Telegram to create a bot. So I'll go ahead and create a new bot, and my name could be like this, and this is my bot ready. Now this name is already taken, so I can say this. Now about this. Oh, now it has created my bot, right? What I'll do is like I'll copy these API keys, copy it, and I'll go back here. I'll disconnect this node, right? And I'll add another trigger of Telegram. Within Telegram, I'll go and look for triggers. Where are triggers? Actions. Okay, I'm not okay. Triggers are this only on message, right? Okay. So when do you want to initiate this workflow? Whenever a message is coming, right? So now I'll go ahead and create a new kind of account for that same process, like a standard process typically. Go ahead, click on create new credential, and then enter the access token here, right? And then click on save, and your account is successfully connected. Yeah, that's all it takes to create it. Now let's quickly do a check whether your message is coming from here or not. I'll go here, I'll click on execute step. Now it's waiting for a test event, right? So for that, what I'll have to do is like I'll have to click here. This is my bot. I'll start this. Okay, quick mic text. Okay, if I go here, it didn't get my mic test command. One second. Okay, it got that first start one, right, which I've given, which was this one, right? Got this, right? Now let's see how can it get a mic test. I'll just add mic test again. Yeah, it got mic test, right? So which means like it's just working perfectly, right? Now what I have to do is like I have to connect it with here, and yeah, in the chat trigger workflow, right? It was connected in a way that it will also take input to this, it'll give input to this AI agent, and also output of this AI agent would be transferred back to the stat node, right? But here we also have to define the output as well. So once the output has come, we wanted to send a message, right? This is an action we want to do, right? And send a title on the chat. No, send a text message. Where is it? Here it is. Send a text message. Yeah, I'll fill all these details in a moment. Okay, cool. So this is like our bot setup is done. What we have to do is just like, do the configurations properly so that, yeah, we have to do the configurations properly so that we can make our bots work, right? That's what I'm going to do now. For this to work, now I'll have to execute the step, right? Error in sub node, mapping from AI. All right, I have to disconnect something to get this started. Chat input. Okay, I have to do this, and my prompt is going to be the user message, right? This is going to be the prompt, and this is system message, because earlier it was taking from that chat node, right? And I wanted to take it manually. I can, add as many. I can, create a elaborated prompt, user prompt message as well, right? So I can do all those things. And now if I execute this, still the error would come. Where? Session ID. I'll also change this, and I'll quickly check what session ID we can add. Message chat ID. Okay, 1 second. Okay, for some reason, okay, I'll have to disconnect this node right now. Execute workflow. Okay, now I'll get the. Okay, so earlier you could see that it was getting that by default, right? Whatever the session ID. Now I have to ensure that for every interaction started on like the Telegram, right? Each conversation has to treat separately, right? So I can quickly go ahead and add a, either this chat ID, right? I would want it to be in the specific message chat ID. Okay, and a context window, we can keep it 10, 15, whatever you want to. It's free version, so it doesn't matter much. All right, and then if we go to this and we run it again, and let's see if it's working fine now. Okay, it's waiting for me to give a message on Telegram. Okay, testing again. If I go here, it has taken this testing again, and it worked. Now it's working, right? Now what I want is, I would want this to send a message Telegram. I would want us to send a message. Where is the send message? Send a text message. And okay, you definitely don't want probably a different person's chat message to someone else, right? So you want to ensure that your chat ID remains same, right? And whatever the input, like from whichever the chat window the message came from, the output has to go to that account only, right? And that's what you want to send, right? If I'll say that, okay, hello, I am part of the workflow, and everything running well. Everything is running well, right? So if I'll execute this workflow, of course, I'll have to trigger it again. Okay, order status. Okay, so whatever you type, right? Okay, payment offers. I'll have to again. I'll give the same message. Yeah, you keep giving the same message, because this is like, I've added a static output message, right? But I want to add a dynamic message. And what is the dynamic message? Dynamic message always is going to be the output of an AI agent, right? So I wanted to send this, right? Not like any static messages, right? Okay, it was also sending like, this message was sent automatically with an So I'll go ahead, append, I'll disable this. Okay, cool. Now our workflow is almost ready. I think it is ready. So yeah, this is it. I'll just go ahead and check to the final test. I'll do it from here. Can you tell me my order status? Let's see how it is going to work. Okay, order ID it asks for. What order ID I can give? Let's give this one. Let's run the workflow again. Yeah. Let's see if it's working or not. Should be refunded a pro. I think. And been refunded? Yes, correct, right? Estimated distances, it gave all the information as I've defined in the role, right? So folks, this is something which look, and you can also do the API integration. You can also connect it with the WhatsApp node, right? Can do all those stuff, right? It is quite flexible on that node, right? So yeah, congratulations. Today, all of you were able to create your custom bot, and this specific bot helps you automate your queries connected to your static knowledge base, and also, kind of saves a lot of time, and it's quite effective as well, right? So yeah, that's it. Just quick question: how many of you want to, of course, whoever wants to get the access of this database and all this prompting guide, I would have a simple task for you. But before that, how many of you want to try it? How many of you want to try this quickly so that I'll send the so you see that it is working. Okay, only 2-3 people. Okay, let's wait for you guys to try it. This is my username. It's working. I'll have to activate this from here for you guys to try it. Got it, and I'll send this link to here. You all can try it, and you can see your executions basically coming here. Yeah, there'll be some failures. Great.
Hello.
Awesome.
Sorry for disturbing you again. Actually, I wanted to ask, what did you disable to remove that automatic footer? That part was missed by me. Can you please tell again?
Again, I'll cover it. So what you have to do for that, go to that specific node, go to add field, right? Click on this specific, there'll be an option to, let's say if I delete it from here, right? It'll come here, append and an attribution. So I just don't want my, users to know, okay, how I'm triggering it, because that's anyway not a good option for them, right? So I hope that helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What is
All
this
right, sure.
application name? Okay, Wake, you are. Okay, all right. Now, cool, folks, do try it for a minute, and then we'll take the questions, and that's how we wrap it up. And in the meantime, okay, we'll also talk about it. Okay, I'll wait for 10 seconds for you to try it at least. Okay, valid order IDs I'll share in the chat. 1 second.
How to access this agent, like using your name?
Yeah, you can go to Telegram and you can search for this username, right? Or you can copy paste this. How to get it. Okay, all of you can lower your hand and.
Hi, Akhil.
Yeah, Akash. Yeah, Akash.
Hey, can you export
Hi.
this project?
No, I can, but I won't be able to do that, at least for the room. Yeah.
Okay, sure.
All right. Okay. One thing I have for everyone, you all can probably take the screenshot of something which is going on right now, and anyone who would be sharing their experience of today's session. I hope it was helpful. Right. I'll do one thing at least for those folks, and you can DM me on my LinkedIn as well. I'll share my credential in the chat in a moment. Just doing it in fact parallelly. Right. You can DM me. or while you're sharing your experience on LinkedIn, do tag me in product space, and I'll try to share the this entire workflow as well, the way probably Akash has asked, where we can get that JSON and import it, and it'll be auto setup, right? And along with that, I'll also share the prompts that I've used in probably that quite extensive ones, and also the database ones, right? So I'll share all in one repository, right, for the folks who will be just doing a little bit of favor to share the experiences. I hope that is a fair ask, right? And all right, that was it about the session.